So one thing I gotta tell you, when you come to Latvia, you can't miss out on Lido. Lido is like the one place where we literally can have almost every single Latvian food you've ever imagined. So here, we've got the black peas with the bacon. This is one of those things you eat a lot, and it's actually quite good. You notice I got a bunch of sauerkraut here. They love their sauerkraut. But the important thing for me is the cold Borch. Yes, it looks like Pepto-Bismol, but it tastes like heaven. So don't miss out on that, okay? Because this is one of the things, it took me years to try it, but I loved it ever since. It's got like the dill in there and the beetroot. Throw out some cream, sour cream. Okay, you have that. Oh, also I gotta tell you this. Don't be lactose intolerant when you come here to Latvia, because you're gonna have cream and cottage cheese and cheeses all the time. Hey fellow hungry travelers, Mark here with Wolters World, and today we're in Riga, Latvia, and today we're gonna talk about what are some of the treats and eats you should have when you come here to Latvia. No matter which county you come to, there's some things you're going to enjoy. And I think one thing is really important to start with. If you're looking for an appetizer, you need to have the fried garlic bread. Now, when you see it, you'll think, why did they burn some toast? Or why is there a plate of burned French fries and a dipping sauce? What is this? No, it's this rye bread, this dark bread, okay? And they chop it up, fried up in garlic, and oh my gosh, it's so good. And they give you like a mayonnaise cheese kind of dipping sauce. You know, you think it'd be horrible and you think it'd be insanely not good, but when you have it the first time, you're like, oh my God, this is life-changing stuff. And you want to have that fried bread, okay? It'll be in a lot of the restaurants on a starter, and they sometimes call it roasted bread with the thing. You want the garlic bread, okay? It's not that white bread stuff you get back home. No, this is the bomb. You want to have that. Another thing you're going to eat when you're out here in Latvia is some brown bread. It's not just the fried garlic version of it, but just itself, where you just put some butter on there and some cheese, cucumber, tomato, whatever. But honestly, the brown bread here, you can't beat it. Another thing that might turn you off when you see it, and you're like, no thank you, I don't need to have Barbie soup. It's the cold Borch, okay? And cold Borch, I mean, it literally is a cold soup, and it looks like Pepto-Bismol. It is pink as pink can be, but oh my gosh, the beetroot's in it, because the beetroot soup was a Borch, but how they have it, and you put some sour cream in there, sometimes I'll even put in some potatoes for me, maybe you put some other stuff on top. It is fantastic, and the thing is, people get kind of scared off by the color of it, but if you go to a Lido, you go to a restaurant, it's definitely a summer soup. You want to have that, because in the wintertime, you're going to have a warm Borch soup, like hot Borch soup, you know, beet soup. That's going to be something that comes out, but yeah, the Augstzupa, that's the cold Borch. Oh, you can't beat that one, okay? And just in general, you have a lot of soups when you are here in Latvia, so don't be surprised if there's a mushroom soup or there's the meatball soup, which is what I used to have all the time. And people have that as a starter. Like, it's normal to just have the soup and then you'll have your meal, okay? Because eating out in Latvia is really affordable, so you can do multiple courses and starters and desserts and stuff like that and not really bust your budget. I mean, depending where you're coming from, but something to kind of think about. So you'll see these little like crescent looking things. There'll be meat inside sometimes there'll be cabbage inside. There's nothing you get quite often. If you're at a market, like if you're at the central market, where we are, they'll have this here. If you want to get the dumplings, they have that here. So another place you want to go to Lido, you want to have a different experience. Central market, you get a lot of normal like Latvian food. So there you go. Now, another thing I had a lot of times when I was here is Pelman, which is basically little dumplings. It might be stuffed with meat or cheese or different kind of stuffings like that. And you have it, and it's not like a tortellini, and it's not like a traditional like fat dumpling. It's somewhere in the middle in terms of the dough consistency. But you'll have that, and you plop some sour cream on there, because I think that's another thing I need to mention is dairy is big here. Like, whether you're having yogurt at breakfast, or you're having milk products, or you're having cottage cheese, or you're having the cheeses from here, you will have a lot of dairy when you are here. So like, bring your lactate if you're lactose intolerant. Another thing when I talk about the cheeses, Sears. This is one of the most popular brands you're going to see. You're going to see a lot of different kinds of it. But this one you can even get at the airport. Like, I'm at the airport here now grabbing some before I go. A good cheese really goes well, I found, like if you have like for snacks and stuff. This is like a good like snacking cheese kind of thing. If you're having your charcuterie board or something, they have all kinds of different stuff they put in it. But yeah, this is one of the more popular ones, if not the most popular one. Though I will say, eating all the dairy stuff, it hasn't affected me as much as when I go and eat like the cheese stuff in the US. So that's one of those things you need to know. But don't be surprised if there's always sour cream and you're plopping some in your soup. Yes. You're plopping some on your pancakes here. Yes, like the rolled up pancakes that are filled with like a curd inside. Those, I like that one. Or you get with the meat inside. Oh, the pancakes here. And you can get like American style pancakes too, but that's not what I'm talking about. It's like the rolled up ones. It's like a blintz kind of thing. Like those are super nice as well. And like another like thing I've had a lot when I'm here, especially when we go out in the summer cottages and when you're here in Latvia, if you go out into, you know, the forest, if you go out into the wilderness, because there is a lot of forest land here, you'll go to people's like summer houses, or you'll go out and you'll explore by the beach. You'll notice people are grilling, and they're all grilling on this like rectangle grill that has like skewers through it. And that's like, you're gonna have sashlik. And basically what it is chopped up pork, you know, or you might have chopped up chicken, and it'll be through the skewer, they'll grill it, and everybody's got their own kind of recipe to marinate, right? And so like some people use beer, some people use, you know, mayonnaise, some people use a combination of all kinds of stuff, but everybody has their own like version of how they're going to marinate it, and everyone thinks theirs is the best. So no matter where you get it, you say this is the best I've had. Okay, so have a heads up, and you can get that actually in restaurants too. And I think one of the things I got to tell you, if you want to go to a restaurant here, they have a chain here called Lido. And Lido, it's like a cafeteria. You walk by and tell them what you want, but that's where you get like traditional Latvian food. Like you're gonna get the steak, well, the hamburger steak and the mushroom sauce. You're gonna get those pancakes I talked about. You're gonna get the sauerkraut. Like, you look, sauerkraut is no joke here. They love their pickled vegetables, and sauerkraut really, really does it. Another you might get there is the black peas and the bacon bits, the zirna. And you look at it, you're like, are those burned like chickpeas or peas or what is it? Just get it as a side. It's fantastic. Even if you get like a starter, like a little bowl of it, the black peas with the bacon bits in it, the zirna, just get it, you'll be fine. And you know, potatoes come in all kinds of forms here. That's another big side when you're here.
Now, when you do go to Lido, one thing I gotta tell you is it's like a cafeteria thing. So you're gonna get your own little tray, you're gonna walk through, just point with what you want. And what's nice is it is affordable, so you can try a lot of different things and not bust your bank. And that's one of the great things about actually coming to Latvia, not just Lido, but anywhere around. It's not expensive. Like you can enjoy and have a great time at a great price. Now, I'm not saying it's cheap, but it's an affordable vacation. You got all this outdoor activities, all this beautiful architecture here in Riga, and it's not bad on the wallet. So that is kind of a cool thing. But going back to the Lido thing, yeah, you got to be the one doing all your own work. So be ready for that. So what I recommend, if you got a family, maybe get some people to sit down to get a place for you to do that, and go up like 2 at a time or something, just to make it easier. Otherwise, you kind of come out with all these trays, you don't know where to put them. So just have a heads up for that.
Lido will give you a lot of options, and you don't just have to go there, but that is a chain that you'll find all over the country. It's really easy to go to and make it easy to really explore the whole, not the whole culinary gamut, but a lot of the culinary treats of here in Latvia. Another thing you can get there in other restaurants is carbonada, which is basically a schnitzel. And so you'll have the, you know, the beaten meat, you know, and it flattened out and fried, and then maybe some mushroom sauce on it, because yeah, they do well with their mushrooms here. Like mushroom soup and mushroom sauce. Just say yes. They're like, oh, would you like gravy with that? Yes, yes, and yes, some more. Now, when you're going around, whether you're here at the Central Market in Riga or you're going to other places around, you'll notice there's a lot of smoked fish, a lot of smoked products. It's like there'll be smoked cheese. Yes, I told you there's a lot of dairy. There's even smoked cheese. Lots of different smoked fish that you can get when you're here. So that's one of those things you might enjoy. There is just a lot of the smoked fish in general. You know, the smoked sausages as well is another big thing. If you go to the market, you'll see the smoked sausages too. But one of the fish you'll see a lot is actually herring here. And it's not just like a pickled herring, but it might be in a soup. It might be like eaten fried up. I mean, there's different kind of herring you can have when you're here. That's a very popular fish here.
And when you're here at the market, don't forget to try some of the things. Even if you're just getting some sweets that maybe aren't even Latvian, it's worth it to get some to try some, because it's kind of a fun thing. And you'll have a fun time practicing your Latvian, Russian, or just trying to communicate. It's actually a fun time. So don't ever skip out and come to the Central Market here in Riga, because it's going to be a fun time no matter where you come. And they actually have little restaurants here too, so if you want to get those dumplings I talked about, you can grab that as well. It's just fun going to the markets here. Young, old, whatever. Who doesn't enjoy seeing food and trying stuff and getting candies and just having a nice time with friends? Go to the market. Take your friends and their crazy children with you. It's always fun.
Another thing you should try when you're here, and I know I talked about the pancakes in terms of like the blintz kind of pancakes, but also I would say the potato pancakes here. Those are actually really good. And it's, I mean, if you've ever had like a big hash brown, it's kind of in that family, because they grate up the potato, smush it into like a little thin patty, right? And they fry it up, and you have that. You might have it with salmon. Like I would recommend if you get the salmon and the sour cream, shocking, you know, and the potato pancakes together, like that's a good meal in of itself that young and old do like. And if you're looking at your drinks when you are here, maybe you have all the traditional usual drinks when you're here. But I will say, like here, they like their beer here. Latvian beer is actually pretty good, so you can get that. Riga's balsams, I got to talk about this. So Riga's balsams, Look, it is, how would I put this? If there was a liquor that tasted like a tree, that's Riga's balsams, okay? But the thing is, you'll see Riga black balsams. There'll be Riga insert fruit. There's like 3 different ones there. But the black one's the traditional one, and it really does have a very herbal flavor to it. I mean, you should try it once and decide if you like it. But what you might want to do is like have a balsam mule where they make like, put it with juice and stuff like that to make it a little bit more palatable. So there is that. So Riga's balsams, like I said, there's multiple flavors you can have. The black currant is probably the best one. That's what I have here. But it's one of those like health remedies you have. But if you do have the traditional like black one, it definitely is much more of an herbal, like drinking a tree, basically. So, you know, you don't forget to make it, don't forget to try it, but I'd recommend the black currant one. I'd say, because that's not bad. And what's cool, you put it with some ginger beer and some lime, actually makes the balsam mule actually pretty good. So yeah, something to help you out when you're here. Cheers. Another thing that I would say is questionably about its palatability would be kvass. And kvass is basically like, it's not beer. It's like it's sort of like, it might only have like 0.5% alcohol, but it's basically like you're drinking bread. Okay, but it's something they like here. I've seen with tourists, it's kind of like when tourists go to the U.S., they're not a big fan of root beer. Here in the U.S., American tourists tend not to like the Latvian kvass, but it is something you might want to try and see if it's for you, okay? So one of the things you have to drink when you are here is kvass, and basically it's like a fermented malt beverage, and there might be a little bit of alcohol in there, like maybe 0.5% or none, but this is one of those things you want to have. It definitely is like drinking bread. Just be aware of that, but this is actually one of those things. Kvass, my friends have it. My little buddy here, she's drinking it too, so you'll be fine. And then if you're looking at desserts, you'll notice there's a lot of different cakes here. They got a lot of bakeries here, you'll be okay with that. But probably like one of the biggest traditional desserts you're gonna see here is a rye bread pudding, which is basically like, if you ever had sticky toffee pudding in the UK, it's in that family, but it's not quite that good, let's say. It's fine, don't get me wrong. And what it is, they have the rye bread kind of stuff all broken up, and they put fruit in with it, and then you compact it down, and then you put tons of cream on top, because dairy comes back again. And you have that, and that's one thing. You can get that at Lido. You can get that at other restaurants as well. It's no big deal, but something you could try when you are here, okay? And now I talked about the berries, but if you're at the market or you're anywhere around the country, getting the berries is something you need to have. Whether it's the blueberries, but actually the really good one are the strawberries. And it might come also in like jams and all kinds of stuff, so don't pass up on them. The thing is, when you come here to Latvia, you have a lot of very natural food. Like, they don't like preservatives. You're not going to see bright colors. You're not going to see weird looking things, Sorry, no dino nuggets here, all right? But you are going to have a really like filling meal. Like, that's one thing. Like, the meals here, they will fill you up. Like, you'll be like, whoa. And sometimes you'll get, like, there's Russian fare you'll have here as well, like the stuffed cabbage. Oh my gosh, the stuffed like meatball inside wrapped in cabbage and like the tomatoey sauce, which if you get invited to any grandma's house, that might pop up on the menu. But there's a lot of other food you can have here as well. I mean, we're here now, and I mean, if you're getting tired of having the local food, they've got great burgers here too if you want to do that. Grill outs are good too, so you'll be fine. And when you're driving through the country, I think another important thing to mention is if you see a restaurant on the side of the road, it's going to be fine. Some people are like, oh, you're not going to have like good food at a grill on the side of the road. No, actually here you can, whether it's the sashlik, the cubed meat kind of stuff, or like steaks or pork chops and stuff. Like, you will have those things here because they do like their meat. Like, I would say probably pork and chicken are the 2 big meats here. But yeah, like the side of the road food is totally fine when you go to restaurants. So don't be afraid to pull off the road when you're driving around and enjoy a meal there with the locals, because you will have a good time when you're there. So it's a nice experience. So I hope this helps you know a few of the things you can eat when you are here in Latvia. Obviously, in a short video like this, I can't go through all the food in the country. So please put some other food and drinks and meats and delicacies and desserts that people should have here in Latvia down in the comments below, so we can have more belly-filled travelers here in Latvia. And I'll say bye from here in Riga.